Look, first off, damn, hold on. Okay. First off, I do want to say that this is not some kind of a April Fool joke. This is not some kind of a prank of some kind. I was planning, like honestly, I was planning to do a lot more than one April Fool's video within the month of April. I just have like a few ideas, but something really come up and pretty much prevented me from um from making these type of videos, which I'm going to be talking about. But just for this video, it's not a prank of any kind. It's not April Fools, unlike the one I posted on April 1st and all that. So here's what really been happening. Here's what's really been happening. I'm sorry, I have to just. Okay, so February 18th, 2021. It was February 18th. There were at the time when snow was still around. In fact, there were a lot of snow on the driveway. It was a Thursday, so I have to get to work soon. I'm assuming it's like 2:45 or 3 o'clock. I look outside. The driveway was empty except for my car. I just took a good look and I'm like, I think I could do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right away. So of course I dressed up and started shoveling outside. I thought to myself, okay, I gotta do just shovel and then get ready for work and all that. I completely forgot of how tiring shoveling snow can be. It's not a huge driveway. It's just a pretty average driveway, but it's still, it can still be tiring and such. After all of that, so after I finished shoveling, I was covered in sweat. I would drench in my own sweat. I was tired. I look at the time, and it was just about 3:30. Just about 3:30, and I'm like, I was fully aware of the kind of points I have. I was very aware of the kind of points I have. My job was right on the edge. I was aware of that. It's on full ice. Not thin ice. It's on thin ice. I don't like remember how thin of the ice really is. I'm assuming I was right at the point with if I was even late for work, I would get fired. That's how that was my mentality of it. Okay, if you're even late, you're fired. But then I noticed how tired I am, and then notice the time. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to take the L. I'm gonna have to call the day off. I understand if I get fired, so I called the day off. I make sure I took a shower. I tried to relax up until the next day, and there's a one of my coworker was working with the union, and so when I was at work during the break time, he comes in and he asked me of one time that I called in, if there's some kind of stall or anything like that. I'm like, I was honest. I'm like, no, there's no stall. I was not put on hold. I called in this specific time, and man, that kind of bummed him out because it's I was technically, my mentality was technically right because yeah, I was about to get fired, but they had to make sure they want to know the whole story of what led to that. Like if there's some kind of accident or there's some kind of like a meeting involved, which is like so. There's some kind of like a meeting that is so understandable, or stuff like that. But no, there's none of that. I just tell my story very very honestly. Except very honestly, except for the part of why I took the day off, because I don't think anyone would take that seriously. But at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I've heard, I've heard that if you even get sick, you might get the coronavirus. And in that state, I'm like, I do not want to take that risk. I just don't want to take that risk. So that's another reason of why I took the day off. So after a few discussions, as it turns out, I did have that one point I could use, that one spare point, and to be honest, I would have been perfectly okay. I would have been perfectly okay, perfectly fine. I was back in the edge. I was back in thin ice, but I would have been perfectly fine if it weren't for the fact that I called in within 30 minutes before work time. Because here's how the point system works on in that job. I'm not sure if that job specifically or just working in the factory in general. Okay, you have a total of 9 points, which is like three strikes and you're out, but times three, and you have 9 points. All right. There's like a certain point where you're like, okay, you get like 3 points, you get like a written warning, you get like 6 points, you get a little suspension and all that, and then when you exceed over 9 points, then that's when you get terminated. And how did that? So how the calling off from work works is that if you're late for work, or if you're calling to be late for work, you will get half a point. If you're calling for a full day off, whether if it's out of illness or something come up, or you have a dentist appointment, or like unscheduled, like if you call the day off within the same day, you would get a full point. But if you call the day off, or if you call the day off, or call as in you're gonna be late for work within 30 minutes of being within 30 minutes before work time, not only will you get that point, but you will receive an additional half a point. So when I called the day off at 3:30, I actually got a point and a half. So that half point is what got me fired. That's what got me fired. Yes. On Sunday, 21, February 21st, on a Sunday, I got a call from my HR. I lost it. I lost it. I lost my job. It's all terminated. There goes my job. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I have no grudges. It's perfectly understandable. It is, like, really, I just don't blame him. I don't blame him whatsoever. They're just doing the job. I was aware of the consequences. And it all seemed to make sense. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So the next day, on a Monday, I went to visit for work. This time not as an employee, but as a visitor. I told most of my coworkers that I got fired. I got pointed out. Simple as that. I got pointed out, or I pointed out. I don't know, but they know what I mean. I got fired, and that pretty much shocked the entire factory. Most of the workers in that factory, because they know me. I was a good worker. Sure, I called. Sure, my job was at the edge because of how many points I took, how many days off that I took. But I was still a good worker nonetheless. I was a great worker at the beginning, and then at the end, I was still a good worker. So I went to the factory as a visitor this time, and I turned in my card, I turned in my keys, and I basically said my goodbye, including my supervisor and my boss. Yeah, because like I said, I have no grudges. I have no hatred towards him. I I'm not angry whatsoever. It's all perfectly understandable. And the best thing I could do is just give out my farewell to show them that I'm okay. You know, I'm okay with it. To let them know of what I just said. I have no grudges. I have no negativity towards that. And yeah, like it, I was a good worker, and so they did wish me luck and all that. Yeah. The only thing that sucks on that last day is when the HR doesn't let me give out my 2 minute speech, my small speech. Like I perfectly understand. Like I perfectly understand that we had to get to work and all that, but um like I said, I was a good worker, and pretty much everyone liked me. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so there's no reason if I use like a couple minutes, like just like a couple minutes of their time, of their work time, because I want to make sure that everyone is there. Like I just want to say my goodbyes to everyone, and then make my leave. But now the HR doesn't let me do that, and that day I don't like the HR. I don't like the health. I don't like the HR person. Okay, because she said she said the whole thing. She told me like, no, you can't say that. You can't really do that. That's just not how it works. While keeping a smile on her face the whole time. I thought she was just trying to be nice, but no. But no, it's like one of those moments. It's like one of those moments. Oh my god, I don't know how to say this. She just put on the face. All right, she just put on the face. It's like I don't know how to say it, but that just made me not like her. She just because the way she just said it was the happy face, like oh Angel, no, that's not how it works. Okay, you need to go now. Okay, okay, bye. Like that, and that kind of that kind of pissed me off. And admittedly, I did have a little grudge against that HR, but just because of that. That's it. One of even my coworkers, even my friend who was my coworker before she got fired, had mentioned somebody similar like that to me. Like, oh, she was a huge. She's not a nice person. She pretend to be nice, but she's not. Okay. And I did give her that. Yeah, you're right. And then she gave me that I told you so moment. Yeah. So there we go. I was driving away. I drove away. I looked at the factory one last time, and that and then I don't want to say that's it because I don't want. It's not the end of the story yet. It's not the end of my story of what I'm trying to say yet. I went home. I told my dad of how I lost my job. But for some reason, he decided now would be the time for him to tell me that he lost his job too. And that pissing me off again. I'm like, why haven't you told me that before? Like, that could have been my reason for going to. That could have been my reason on that day to go to work, even though I'm covered in sweat. I'll take that kind of a risk. But no, as it turns out, there's some kind of an illness. I'm not gonna say what kind of illness it is. It's not the coronavirus, okay? It's not the coronavirus, but it's some type of illness that made him stay in bed for so long that actually cost him his job. As I'm recording, he is very weak. He couldn't even get up, and that's really sad. I'm not gonna show it to you guys. I don't want to talk a lot about that. But for 2 whole months, up to this moment, I'm completely jobless. I have no job, really. I just wanted to take that time to, I just want to take that time for myself. I want to work on myself and all that. And then, of course, there are bills to pay, and I thought it'd be okay. I'm okay with that. And, and here comes the real problem. Here comes the real problem of what made me make this video. What made me want to talk about today. The union was supposed to help me. The union was supposed to help me, because I got fired. I lost my job. It's not. I told you guys of how I lost my job, and in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't. Like I'm not asking for like $1 million or anything. All right, I just wanted enough money to pay my bills and have some food on the table. That's just pretty much it. Yeah, that's just pretty much it. The union at first they gave me like $1,000, which was the routine, of of when the shutdown happened, which started to happen a lot. It started to happen like once a month and all that. And then 2 weeks later, what's in like what March, like just the beginning of March, I got a letter from the union, and what they're basically saying is, "Hey, do you remember the time when I was helping you by giving you the $1,000? Yeah, yeah. You know what? As it turns out, we changed our mind. But instead, like, hey, Angel, you know what? We changed your mind. And as a matter of fact, you remember the money that we gave you? Yeah, you owe us now." It's garbage. Like what kind of like? I was confused. I was upset. Like, hello. Even do you not notice that I lost my job? That should be enough reason for you to help me. And like I said before, I'm not asking for $1 million. Just enough money to pay my bills. Okay, just to pay my bills. I have enough money to put some food on my table, but that'll be it. I'll be okay with that. But no, like, hey, you owe us that $1,000, and not to mention that they haven't been helping me throughout the past 2 months. The only time they helped me is when they gave me that $1,000, and now they just want it back. Like, this isn't a loan. This isn't one of those loan. Like, okay, here, have the money so you could pay for the house, so you could live in the house, but eventually you're gonna have to pay us back. This isn't one of those things. Or there shouldn't be. At least it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't have worked like that. Not to mention that throughout the whole 3 years, like 3 years of me working in that factory, I've been supporting the union by having them take some of that money right out of my paycheck. It's not a lot, but think about it. Each and every paycheck that goes to my bank, the union took some of that. And this is how they repay me. Me supporting them, this is how they repay me. That's absolute bullcrap. And of course, I've had I set up some kind of appointment. I talked to the union about it. And this is one guy who sounds very grumpy, but he's a very supporting guy. He set up a meeting of me against the union. I keep saying the union when it comes to like, hey, you owe us that money back. Like, I think it's like some kind of like a government that's above the union. But I'm still gonna call it the union nonetheless. So I had a on-phone meeting with the union because of the whole virus going on. And I gave out my honest reason. This time I told them about me shoveling the snow, and then I was so covered in sweat, and I don't want to take the risk of myself getting sick and all that. After all of that, I even mentioned the fact that my father was too weak to stand up, and he's too weak to get up. it cost him his job and all that. He's home. He's jobless, and I'm jobless, and eventually we're gonna lose the house. Even with my roommates paying for the mortgage, it's just not enough. I told him all of that. Told him all of that, and today, as a recording, I got the paper, and they're basically saying that no, it's not enough. I'm ineligible. I've been disqualified for like a violation, willful violation, and wait, they mentioned something about hurting. Listen, hey, absences always cause harm to the employee, even if a worker is allowed to make up the time. Who gets hurt? Who gets hurt from someone taking the day off? Like, I understand if the person have to put up the extra work, so that so that the supervisor can call another person to take that to fill in that spot. Like, I understand that, but basically, like, putting up the bullcrap is words like harm to the employer. What kind of that's stupid. That is stupid. It's garbage. I hate them. I hate it. And that really sucks. Not to mention that just I haven't been getting any benefits from the union. And that's what really bums me out. That's what prevents me from. That's what basically. It's like part of the depression that makes me want to lay in bed all day. I'm not depressed, alright? I'm not in depression. I make sure that I went outside, took some walk. I get like do a little. I'm started doing little push-ups every once in a while. I make sure not to spend too much money and everything. And 2 months. Hey, 2 months. This guy. I'm really bummed out. You could say I was depressed. Not depressed enough for me to wallow in sadness and think about how unfair life is. I mean, I get that. I get it. I talked to my stepbrother about it earlier, and he mentioned about me becoming a streamer, you know? I do think it's a good idea. Even if it's just using my phone, I think it's a good idea. But for me to do to live stream on YouTube, I had to get like 1,000 subscribers. They did mention that. And I'm like, that's dumb but understandable, okay? And I get it. Look, I'm not telling the story so you guys can. I'm not telling the story to guilt trip. I just want to explain of what's been going on. What's been going on for the past 2 months. Cause like you think, like in my mind, I'm like, you think I could use all that free time to grow my channel, to put more effort into my channel. But I was too busy bummed out with the fact that the union's not helping me. The union is not helping me. In fact, it's doing the opposite of helping me. And that's absurd. That's completely absurd. I'm waiting for my benefits. I'm waiting for help. Because of anything, the union, they owe me. They owe me. Bad. That's dumb. That's wrong. I've been holding it in for quite a long time. I've been holding it in for quite some time. And I haven't told you guys about it before because I do want to make sure that it is like their last words. You know, because the last thing I want to do is just saying, "Oh, the union is evil," and then the next day, they gave me the benefits, and then next thing you know, next thing you know, of misfortune events, they might see my video and they come up to me like, "What the hell, man?" But no, I was right. They are evil. Not evil, just not helping. They don't help, right? Like, there's no point of having a union if they're not going to help me or they're not going to help anyone. They're just them wanting to make more money. And it's bull crap. That's bull crap. I know I'm gonna eventually find a job, but I really do want to get out of my chest before I really want to actually put more effort into my YouTube channel. And it it would be it'd be great, and if you guys could support me, because believe me, I do want my channel to grow, and this time it's not gonna be like before. It's not like one of those things. It's not like one of the. I no longer look at my own channel like, okay, I don't mind if it goes up or down. I don't mind if a channel goes down because I have my job, but I don't have my job anymore, and it's like one of those things when, like, okay, I want to put more effort into myself and into my YouTube channel. I'm repeating myself. That's just how upset I am. But again, I truly appreciate it if you guys could support me. You could share it with your friends. You could just share it on Facebook. I'm gonna do my best to. When it comes to going public, I want to do. I'm trying to do my best to put myself out on Facebook, out on TikTok, on my YouTube channel, and all that. I'm trying my best. I want to be more open about it, and I could really use the help. Of course, you don't have to, if you don't want to, but that'll be awesome, really. And again, I'm not saying this story to guilt trip anyone. I'm just telling of what happened, of what's really eating me from the inside. It's been going on for almost 30 minutes, so I want to wrap this up. I don't know what to say. I basically said everything. Pretty much everything. I think I said everything. Yeah, I want to be more open, and I really believe that my channel can grow. And of course, my channel needs your help. Alright? If you really enjoy what I do, whether about the gaming or me being silly, like the April Fool's videos, or me drawing anything, almost anything. I also have a few more ideas I want to go out there, but again, there's something that's eating me out, and I want to bring it all. I just want to pull it all out. So thank you guys for watching up to this moment. It's really getting to me. It's really eating me from the inside. I'm gonna find a job to help my father. And I'm definitely gonna put a bit more effort into my YouTube channel. And I said it. Whatever was in my heart, I just let it out. And I want to do better. Wish me luck.